It would seem that my last video on the topic of PvE resonated with some of you. My mind has been a bit of a motor with this subject, and I want to expand on earlier sentiments and explain in a higher resolution way why any shift towards placating these sorts of demands is alarming to me and others. Some PvE advocates seem to think a PvE SC server would be like that old Serious Sam game franchise. You know, the one where you run around with a minigun, killing heaps and hordes of oncoming enemies. Well, that's just genocidal levels of protagonism right there. But in the PU, you get a bit of reality shock. You're not the shit, but actually just shit under somebody else's boot. You see, if you can't be prepared to practice and get better at the game, then why should your bad behavior be rewarded in a competitive MMO environment? Why should you have the same levels of success than someone else who uses their brain for once? That doesn't encourage anything productive or innovative out of the community, does it? Because remember, MMOs are competitive. And let's bear in mind, industrial game loops and orgs are possibly going to fund the future of PvP and have an integral role with an actual org system that is going to be built. I can't make this any clearer. Bad ideas should fail. The cream should rise to the top and the sediment should fall to the bottom. If bad ideas and groups succeed, then the game community isn't engaging, competitive, or attractive. Instead, it's unusual, odd, and deformed, with lazy-like behaviors being rewarded and unfathomable egos being stoked through their mediocrity. And the brilliant types will see this, and they will move on to something else instead that rewards their efforts fairly. We're already seeing this in the competitive PvP side of the community, who have found other games to scratch the itch of their PvP desires. One mentioned is a game called HunterNet, and I know a fair few have gone over there. SE is the best of everything. It's the best graphics, the best tech, best visuals like stunning landscapes and god rays and lightning bolts coming through the sky through atmospheric storms. The best audio, although they try. The best voice acting and actors. It's meant to be the best and most immersive game. And you want to cry on Spectrum or Reddit about being sniped from a tower while you move cargo around without a secondary, even keeping watch? Without a contingency plan? You should be rolled over and munched up. Your bad tactics, your non-existent procedures shouldn't reward you so you can grow as a player and be better at games in general, maybe even life. PvE also won't be how you think it will be. CIG aren't just going to make matters easy for you. So what's the difference if NPCs are also challenging for you? Your ego, of course. Yeah, because it's a downgrade, really. Let me make this clear. You can't negotiate with an NPC. But with me, you can. And potentially, we can have a good experience. I have countless great interactions with people, and it's a massive polished jewel in Star Citizen's crown. I'd say, in fact, it's one of the prominent precious gems on the front of the thing. Interactions and potential interactions keep Star Citizen fresh and relevant. If all you have is easiness and good in the world, then you don't understand the importance of it. It loses meaning in nihilistic tendencies form. If you don't choose to have any danger in the game presented by other players, I would argue that you run a different type of danger altogether. Being bitch-made. Yeah. You heard me right. Bitch-made. Clicky communities that get high on their own fucking farts. You should be thankful. Really, you should. Because PvPers and pirates are basically the real thing that NPCs are trying to imitate. We're the real McCoy. There's nothing quite like us, nothing as advanced. PVE servers? They're a bad idea. Mark my words. I mean, do you want ED? No, I'm not talking about erectile dysfunction, although I suspect some of you do suffer from that already. No, similar. I meant Elite Dangerous, actually. Is that what you fucking pussies want? Well, go play it then. It needs players right now. But something tells me you won't. Enough said. Well, not quite. I'm not finished yet. The problem I have is that your incessant bleating is being given oxygen by CIG. How, Ark? We still don't have PVE servers. They won't yield to our demands. Well, you know this game that spent the last few years trying to hide the process of spawning ships, creating elaborate spawn closets and hangars that raise up from the enclosed recesses and present to you. You know, the same game that took players off of player manifests to allow stealthy boarding game mechanics, so they said, also tell you when you're trespassing, and created powerful anti-boredom mechanics that allow you to kill someone on your ship if they're not invited, and not pick up a crime stat for it. That same company that has told us and sold us on espionage, hacking, and boarding gameplay, that same fucking game, that all those things we previously mentioned, now just happens to teleport people out of their ships because they don't belong. Because they may have dropped party and they're near a space station in Armistice Zone. The same game that said they were moving away from Armistice Zones now teleports me right into the nearest station if you fly me 20 kilometers close to it. And I may have been there robbing you blind of all your possessions. But do you know what this results from this? Not only the evisceration of stealth gameplay, which frankly there wasn't enough of to begin with, it encourages the outright killing of people, deathing ships and crews, feeling pushed to do so by the game mechanics themselves. You're gonna have to blame CIG on this one. The 4.02 patch has only just come out, and I have to get ahead of this and take a greater look at these anti-griefing gameplay mechanics that I've just installed. I think the point remains, well, this seems to be placating the PvE crowd. I'll probably do a full video on this once I understand the matter further. Thank you for your time, and stop being fucking retards.